Good afternoon. My name is Lindsay Babiak, and I'm one of the assistant principals at Dr. Ann Anderson High School. We will soon hear from our class valedictorian. Valedictorian is an academic title of success used for the student who delivers the closing or farewell statement at a graduation ceremony. Traditionally, the valedictorian is the final speaker at the graduation ceremony before students receive their diplomas and pursue their individual paths after high school. At Dr. Ann Anderson, the chosen valedictorian is an exemplary model of our school and division values, in addition to having high academic standing. In addition to the scholarly achievement, the Dr. Ann Anderson valedictorian is selected on the basis of involvement in school life and activities, engagement in local and other civic governance, and ongoing leadership and volunteer contributions within the school and the community. This student upholds Dr. Ann Anderson's teachings for a good life in his or her interactions on a daily basis. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2024 class valedictorian. Please welcome me in joining Chelsea Kwon.
Chelsea!
Chelsea. My language arts teacher actually told me to smile if I was ever nervous today, and boy, am I smiling big. All right. Good afternoon, parents, friends, teachers, distinguished guests, and of course, the graduating class of 2024. You want to clap for yourself? As I stand before you today, I am honored and feel very lucky to be this year's valedictorian. But as of now, I want to set aside that title and simply want you to see me as Chelsea. Whether you remember me as that one loud friend that won't stop talking, that one student you'd love to make fun of, or that one happy maniac you sometimes saw skipping down the hallways to get to our class, I'm here to speak from the bottom of my heart. It seems like yesterday we began this high school journey together, at that beautiful age where we're old enough to make decisions for ourselves, but still young enough to make foolish mistakes, maybe even get away with them, and grow as a person. Today, I want to express my sincerest appreciation to each and every one of you for making these past 3 years everything that they were. And I can't help but feel compelled to share some thoughts that have resonated with me as you also reminisce about your time at Dr. Ann Anderson. One of my biggest mottos in life is to be appreciative of every little thing. What sets us apart from others? I think a big part of it comes down to sheer luck. The only difference between me and someone seemingly worlds apart was mere circumstantial. And the reality was that there are so many things we cannot control. I didn't want to be so loud or always clumsy, like forgetting my graphing calculator on the day of my AP Calc exam. Thanks, Mom, for saving my life that day. We rush, we try to do more, we compare ourselves to others, and in our busy lives, we forget the little moments that make our life meaningful. Knowing that we all come from different walks of life, the only thing we can control is our attitude, the mindset, and how we perceive what we have is enough to drive towards what we want. And I feel very lucky to have been selected to give this talk before you right now, especially when there are so many well-deserving students out there. It's this mindset that has changed my perspective to be appreciative of every little thing. I also constantly ask myself, is it too late to start? It's a personal struggle I have always had. And let me tell you, it has never been more true than with AP Physics. I cried endlessly the night I got my first physics exam back, and then cried after all the following exams, which I know some of you could relate to. But for the first time, I reached out for help. And my teacher, shout out to Mr. Stelke, wherever you are in the audience. He confidently said to me, Chelsea, it's not too late. You can start over. Mind you, this was only a month, so roughly about 22 school days, before the semester ended, meaning 2 more quizzes and a unit exam that I needed to get a perfect score on to get the grade I wanted. Whether or not Mr. Stolke knew that math, those words helped me more than all the times I wanted to get through the struggle alone. It was the first time in my entire life I genuinely worked towards something where I pushed myself beyond my limit every single day. Here you might expect a typical successful ending, but no, reality's harsh, and physics still remained the worst subject out of my 6 core courses. But that was completely okay. Even my dad, also an engineering professor, sat me down at the dinner table and hesitantly asked, "Are you sure? Are you sure about wanting to pursue a career in engineering?" Yes, that engineering where physics is a major component. And here I am, still committed to studying biomedical engineering in my dream school this upcoming fall. I realized it was perfectly fine to start a little late, because actually, I wasn't late at all. So no matter what you want to pursue it bravely, sincerely, and in the words of Mr. Stelke, remember that it is okay to start again. Looking back, I'm thankful for my past hardships that have taught me that the journey is more worthwhile than the outcome. And to be honest, leadership was not something I was fond of at the beginning. It looked like too much of everything. Too much time, too much effort, too much risk. Too much of being in the spotlight where everyone can see when you mess up. But inspired by my genuine passion to help those who used to struggle like I once did and didn't know how to ask for help, I started pursuing this path with something small. And that was creating our first peer tutoring club. To this day, I thank the teachers, friends, and volunteers for their vote of confidence and help make this club such a success to this day. Knowing that the journey in what I perceive as failures to be more meaningful than the result, I became more passionate in leadership by wanting to help others, and with the support of all of you, I took on the role of Student Senate and trustee of the division. So if I had given up on physics, if I hadn't learned how to enjoy the process more than the results, if I weren't lucky enough to be a student at Dr. Ann Anderson High School, filled with amazing people like all of you, I wouldn't have been fortunate enough to be standing on this podium at this very moment. Now think about the time you asked someone for help, let's say math homework, but you ended up more crying than actually calculating. Or maybe it could be that one time you tried to cook your family something nice, like oil pasta, for example, but ended up with noodles that were deep fried. I'm definitely not calling out my own dad right now. You know what I am? Yeah, I am. Love you, Dad, wherever you are. But when we reflect back on times we felt hopeless, thinking it was the end, now it doesn't seem as devastating. I think of these hardships as a sign of maturity, personal growth, one step closer to becoming a bigger person. It's all about perspective in the end, how you choose to view everything that happens in your life. And I chose to be grateful, be happy, and have fun with everything and anything I do. Lastly, I want to express my sincerest gratitude to everyone who has made a positive impact on our community, including our incredible teachers that have never given up on us, Dr. Wright, Mr. Card for championing our potential, the friends we will cherish forever, and of course, our moms, dads, siblings, including my little brother Brandon, and everyone else who matters the most to us. As was said earlier, commencements are all about beginnings. Today may mark the end of one chapter of our young lives, but we have a lifetime in front of us to learn, to fail, and to become the person we imagine ourselves to be. And so to the class of 2024, congratulations. And I truly wish the best in whatever path you choose to take. And so to conclude my speech, I would like to express my earnest gratitude and respect to my fellow students, teachers, and parents with a bow. In Korean, we say, 제가 이 자리에 있게 해주신 모든 분들께 진심으로 머리 숙여 감사드립니다. Thank you.